Story 1. I attend a public university in California, part of the UC system. Some UCs, like UCLA, Berkeley, and Santa Barbara, are much larger, while others, like mine, are significantly smaller. The big ones typically host their own version of a dedicated tour day, where all incoming students visit that specific campus. Really, it's just an excuse for current students to throw all-day crazy parties. Berkeley's is Cal Day, and Santa Barbara's is Deltopia, to name a few examples. My campus is roughly a 2.5-hour drive from Santa Barbara, but students from other campuses sometimes drive to bigger schools for that one day. I've never really wanted a party like that, so I never went. But a few months ago, realizing it was my senior year and my last chance, when friends asked if I wanted to join them for Deltopia, I decided to say screw it and went. We drove down Friday afternoon, the day before major festivities. Hunter was driving, and the car was completely packed. Other friends joining were Damon, Benjamin, and Armin. All of us stand above 6 feet, so the journey was painfully cramped but passed quickly with good conversation and music. Arriving in Isla Vista, we spent nearly an hour looking for parking with no luck. I'm not exaggerating. Deltopia is that popular. Just as we were about to give up, Hunter charmed a sorority girl into letting us use her spot. We got a good chuckle. Everything seemed on plan. Hunter's sister, a UCSB junior, let us crash on her apartment floor. During Deltopia, having a place to sleep is a golden ticket. Her roommates were chill, so we partied with them that night, even though Deltopia officially started the next morning. Hunter's friendly, so many people know him. One friend, Amir, is problematic. He clings to social circles without really belonging, insecure, loud, oblivious, always seeking validation, and making every conversation about himself. He'd told Hunter he was going to Deltopia, but he wasn't part of our plans. About an hour after settling in, we left for an alcohol run. Exiting the liquor store, we saw Amir standing on the curb, hands in pockets. No one spoke. We kept walking, and he fell in step like he'd been there all along. A few blocks later, he asked, "Why are you guys so surprised to see me?" Of course we were. There was no plan to meet him. We ignored him. Back at the apartment, Amir asked to use the bathroom, then ran ahead. When Hunter's sister answered, he declared, "I'm staying here," and walked past her. Hunter was livid, telling Amir he had to leave, and that line crossed a line. Amir argued outside for 20 minutes before finally leaving. We got wasted talking about him. Later, we realized Hunter had shared his location with Amir, meaning he'd stalked us. The next day was a blast. Deltopia lived up to the hype. By late afternoon, we met 5 other friends and chilled back at the apartment. We told them about Amir. They found it odd. One friend, Ryland, checked Amir's location. His jaw dropped. The Blue Dot was practically on top of us. It moved away quickly once mentioned, like he was spying from a car. Him showing up again was borderline psychotic. We laughed it off and kept partying. That night, I woke to glass shattering. No one else stirred. Grabbing an empty wine bottle, I crept toward the noise. The balcony sliding door was shattered, a huge rock amid glass shards. I knew Amir did it. Then, a closet handle jiggled. Terrified, I woke Hunter. When we returned, the closet was open. Hunter pulled a massive kitchen knife from it. Amir had been waiting to attack me. That horrifying moment could have ended my life. We woke everyone, swept the apartment, and called police. They took a report but said property destruction was common during Deltopia. Amir had stopped sharing his location, so we couldn't prove anything. Leaving the next morning, Hunter texted Amir a furious paragraph, but it didn't deliver. Amir had blocked us all. We haven't heard from him since. I still worry. He knows where we live. I'll update if something happens. Story 2. My name is Arthi. This happened long ago, but I remember about 90% vividly. Late April 1996, fresh out of basic training, I'd been assigned as a communications specialist to an air base in San Angelo, Texas. Stationed in Texas was great. I'm from Mississippi and enlisted partly to get far from home. I was 24. My closest friends on base were Sebast and Kay. We were inseparable. One warm April weekend, Sebast suggested a road trip to Austin for a change. Kay and I, sick of base monotony, agreed. Kay drove her SUV. An hour into the mostly empty highway drive, Sebast asked if we'd seen a car pull onto the road behind us. I saw a dark-colored Tahoe trailing steadily. Kay changed lanes. It mirrored her. Then its lights flashed. We thought it was an undercover cop. Kay pulled over. The guy stepping out wore all-black tactical gear with an unreadable arm patch. Nothing screamed police. Instead of approaching Kay's window, he stood behind our car, analyzing it, peering through the rear window and at bumper stickers. Sebast rolled down his window, asking if there was a problem. The officer ignored him, walked to Kay's window, and demanded her license and registration. After a long wait back at his vehicle, 2 other men exited with him. My heart raced. The officer returned, asking Kay if her father was in the Army, referencing her U.S. military bumper sticker. Kay laughed, saying she was military, pointing to Sebast and me. His body language stiffened. After a weird silence, he handed back her license, saying he'd let her off with a warning for speeding, then left without another word. The Tahoe sped off. We were dumbfounded. Sebast insisted they weren't real cops and would have harmed civilians. We shrugged it off, enjoyed Austin, and forgot to stop. A week later, watching local news with Sebast, I froze. A story reported a man and woman found dead in a ditch near San Angelo, robbed and murdered. Their vehicle, a black Tahoe, was confirmed stolen months prior. We found Kay immediately. We told police everything. To this day, I believe Kay's bumper sticker saved us. It could have easily been us in that ditch. Story 3. I've always been private, which is why I've waited so long to share this. I can't think of much worse than this being traced back to me, but I recently realized it'd be a shame not to circulate it. So here goes. I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone. About 10 years ago, I took a solo road trip from West Patterson, New Jersey, to Fort Worth, Texas, to visit my parents. Somewhere remote, maybe Arkansas or Oklahoma, my car stalled. I popped the hood. Pretending I knew what I was doing, I didn't. Soon, a white pickup truck pulled up. The driver, mid-30s but worn-looking, had curly hair and an uneven beard. He resembled an older, less groomed version of me. Without asking, he leaned over my engine. I explained the problem, thanking him. He muttered he needed a compression tester, claiming his mechanic friend could bring one. He tried calling, but said his phone was dead, asking to borrow mine. I handed it over without thinking. Instantly, he pulled a gun. Calmly, he ordered me to sit. He rifled through my pockets, took my wallet, backpack, and made me unlock my phone. Then he drove off. Livid but unharmed, I eventually got help. Someone jump-started my car and guided me to my parents without a phone. The visit was nice despite everything. The next weeks involved canceling cards and replacing IDs. 6 months later, hell began. Letters arrived for credit cards and a Best Buy card I hadn't opened, racking up $1,000 plus in Tennessee. I'd forgotten my Social Security card was in my stolen wallet. The robber now was me. My credit report drowned in fraud. I filed FTC reports, placed fraud alerts, froze credit, and begged police. But without a name or plate, they couldn't help. Then, my health insurance called. Someone got emergency care under my name in Georgia, creating false medical records. That was the last straw. I dedicated all free time to hunting him. One night, I checked Craigslist in fraud-linked cities. In Jackson, Tennessee, a power tools listing stood out. It matched best by purchases charged to me. I emailed, feigning interest. He agreed to meet in public, demanding cash. I called Jackson police, pleading. Miraculously, they investigated. When I got him to reveal he'd drive a red truck, they set up surveillance. At the meet spot, he spotted patrol cars and sped off. Police chased him. He crashed. Shaken, he admitted the items weren't his. A friend gave them to him. He ratted out his friends. Police arrested 3 men running an interstate robbery/identity theft ring targeting travelers. They'd had multiple victims. Justice was served.